Hi everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Suwilanji Simukoko and I share faith-based content, and on this episode I'm joined by the amazing and talented Mrs. Lyapa Mbewe. She's a financial expert and she's here to talk to us about investing. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited. I'm very humbled to be back.
Oh yeah.
This time alone.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much for actually coming on the show with us. So this is going to be a Q&A segment where I'll be asking Mrs. Lyapa questions on investing and she'll be giving us the responses. Okay, so the first question is, what is an investment?
Okay. So an investment is, or investment, let's say what is investing or what is an investment, is simply the art or the process of placing money for a profit or an interest. So it's very diverse. You put it in a business, you invested in a business, you put it in different investment vehicles. But the process behind it is you've got money, you want to make more money.
Okay, great.
That is investments,
Okay, great. And the second question is, what are the benefits of investing?
Okay. I'll try and answer that with differentiating investing with savings. So I'm sure every one of us knows what savings is, because we've grown up with savings accounts.
Of course.
And banks advertising savings accounts. So savings is where it's simply 1 + 1 is equal to 2. So if you've got a 500, you put in a 500. Tomorrow you put in a 500, and the cycle goes on. So by the end of the year, you would have gotten what exactly you'd have put in. Investments on the other end is placing of money. So the same 500 kwacha that you're putting in on a month-by-month basis, or 100,000 kwacha that you have and you want to make a money placement, with the promise, and I'll say this very loosely, with the promise of getting a return after a certain tenure of time. So it might be 3 months, might be 6 months, might be a year, it might be 15 years, and all those things. And one thing just to note is investments is medium to long term.
Okay.
So you can't place money into an investment and expect to reap tomorrow. That's the thing. So the benefits of investment is just the beauty of whatever it is that you place in, you will get something out. Of course, with putting in mind risk, and I'm sure that is something that we will talk about in depth maybe. But then that's just something to think about. Investment just helps putting your objectives into place, and also when done right, it is one of the most beautiful things. Someone said, and I've forgotten the author of this particular note, he said compound interesting, which is behind investment, is the 8th wonder of the world. So it's beautiful. That's how beautiful it is.
Definitely. And you mentioned something about compound interest. I've been in all the videos that I've been watching on financial management, they've mentioned something about compound interest. Could you just share a little bit more about compound interest?
Okay, so let me do away with a theory of compound interest and see if we can do it with numbers. So compound interest is simply you would have saved 10,000 kwacha in year 1 and made interest of your 10,000 kwacha of 2,000 kwacha. In year 2, they are going to compound your interest or give you interest of the 12,000 from the previous year, plus the 10,000 from year 2, and calculate your interest on that. So they're calculating interest on 22,000. And if they're going to calculate interest on 22,000, means that maybe they're going to give you 4,000 of that, and then 4,000 plus in year 3. Plus 22, plus the 10,000 you would have made in year 3.
Wow, I can see that,
and that's
growing.
And it grows exponentially, and it's such a beautiful, especially when you're young. And I always say compound interest favors time. It favors the younger person, because then if you're young, if you're 25 today, imagine you start at 25 and then you put in this plan for 10 years. By the time you're 35, it's beautiful.
Definitely.
So compound interest is just mostly interest being given on interest. It's like interest making interest for you. So it's
Okay, great. Okay, so the third question that I have for you today is, what are the risks of investing without having an objective in mind?
Okay. So the thing is, already we've spoken about savings.
Yes.
And the thing about savings is, or just putting money aside, is it's very difficult. Yeah, we've got
definitely.
responsibilities, we're living hand to mouth.
Yes.
So every single penny that you have is supposed to be used for something else.
Yes.
But the beauty about having an objective in mind is it almost gives you that sort of accountability, and it also gives you like a driving force for you to reach the goal of of this particular investment, or it gives you almost like a joy, a delight to actually place money, because savings is very difficult.
Yes.
And it requires a lot of discipline to it, but then discipline and objectives marry so well.
Together,
So let's say for someone who has a child, the motivation behind that is education planning. So it's the same investment vehicle that you're using for everything, but if you come to me and you package it in a way where you tell me, saying, Lyapa or Suwilanji, this particular plan is for your future children. I'll be motivated to put into it. Why? Because I love my babies. Anything like that. So what is the objective behind it? Is it a retirement plan? Do you want to purchase a piece of land so at some point? Do you want to build your dream house? Do you, is it other people even do wedding funds and all those things, but what is the objective? The thing is, do not board a train unknowingly. You don't know where the train is going, and that's the problem with non-goal based investing. So you want to do that. You want to attach an objective so that it gives you that accountability in the back of your mind, saying, if I don't do this, there's repercussions to this. And also there's wealth creation, something that I'm very passionate about, wealth creation and financial freedom. You want to get to a point where you can afford the things that you love. And it's not how much you are earning, because income is not equivalent to wealth, but it's how well you utilize your income to see how that can grow into this wealth eventually. So you can get 10,000 kwacha, another person can be taking home 40,000 kwacha. But then you find that the one that's taking home 40,000 kwacha is actually even highly indebted. Why? Because they don't know how to manage their finances, or they haven't attached an objective even just to their disposable income. But for you, who is very, very, very disciplined with your 10,000 kwacha, you know that even just 20% of whatever you earn, you consistently, and you're very disciplined at putting aside that money, you will see the difference in 10 years time on who invested and who didn't, because time has a way of showing it.
Definitely.
And numbers don't lie.
They do not lie at all. Okay. Wow, that was so powerful and everything. So something I've picked up from what you've said is having an objective. Why are you saving, and how much are you going to save? So for me, what I can get from that is that an objective serves as a motivational factor. It keeps you going even when you don't feel like saving, because you know that if I don't save, these are the consequences that are going to come up, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, great. So the fourth question that I have for you today is, what risks can one expect to encounter when investing?
Okay, so it's not a one size fits all when it comes to investments. So because of objectives, you find that every one of us has different needs, and then everyone has a different portfolio, because our needs are different, our objectives are different. So even the risk, there's what is called a risk scale. So what type of a risk taker are you? Are you, let's put it on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the type of person that puts their money under the mattress, like I won't allow you to touch my money, kind of thing. And then 10 is a gambler. I'll bet my 100,000 kwacha in belief that in the next 15 minutes I'm going to make 200,000 kwacha. So what type of a risk, what is your risk profile as an individual? So you find that once you understand the type of person that you are, you will know which investment vehicle to place your money in. So you find, because there are different types of investment vehicles on the market and all those things, so you need to know one. That's why objectives are very cardinal when it comes to investments, so that you even know what risks are attached for what particular investment or objective you are placing your money
Yeah.
for. So just know the type of person you are. And
Yeah.
I like to believe we all know who.
We all
who
definitely
we are.
know. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question on what you said. What type of a risk is it profile?
Yeah.
Are you?
As an individual, I would like to believe I'm more of a 6.
Okay.
6. I'm a moderate, bit of a risk taker.
Yeah.
So the way my risk profile is made up is there's certain times where if I have a certain amount of money and I know that this money is when I lose it or should I lose it, it is going to cripple me as an individual. I will know where to place my money. But you know, there's always that window when you have a little bit of money that is unplanned for. Then maybe just maybe I can put it in a higher risk investment vehicle. But then also remember the objectives in mind. I will not gamble my money if it is meant for a certain objective that will leave me crippled in the long run. But then if it's for something that is a bit more temporal and all those things, maybe just maybe I can kind of like gamble on it. So I like to believe maybe I'm a moderate but slightly above moderate. But then what objective am I placing on my investment?
Okay. All right, that's wonderful. Okay, so with that being said, how then can one mitigate risk when it comes to investing?
Okay. I like to believe that it's your money. The number one thing is you worked hard for that money, so you take responsibility for your money. So when it comes to investments and mitigating risk, unfortunately you can't erase risk. If you're going to make some money, unfortunately you're going to lose some money. So it's either you make or you lose, and hence the risk profile. You need to know how much you're willing to lose in order to gain. So for me, if you're going to ask me how to mitigate risk, I'm going to ask you to just do your shopping around and do your own personal due diligence when it comes to the investment vehicles that you're about to invest in, the investment companies that you're about to place your money in. Because you can't, in investments, you can't erase risk completely. No, this is why they don't certain you or assure you of an investment return. They might give you a range. They'll tell you saying we can give you between maybe 10 to 15%. Why? Because they know that I can't assure you of 15%. It might be less, it might be more, it might actually even be less than 10%. Maybe it might be 9% in some days, because there's always risk attached to investments. So you can't take it away. Just shop around, know the security, know how best or how good the investment company you're about to place your money in. How long have they been in existence? What is their capital adequacy? So that even as you're putting in your money, it's just a mini percentage of what they already have.
Okay. All right. That's great. So which investment vehicles would you advise someone who's just starting out to venture into?
So there are quite a number of investment vehicles. We have stocks and shares, you have government bonds, you've got treasury bills, you've got unit trusts, you've got real estate. So it all depends on how much money you have. There's some of these investment vehicles go with lump sums. So where you have either a 10,000 kwacha, or you have 100,000 kwacha, you have a 1 million kwacha. Kind of. So you also want to know how much money you have. Is it going to be a lump sum figure, or are you going to be depositing on a month by month basis? So what is it really? So it also goes with the type of person or what circumstance they are under. So if you're just a baby investor or a beginner, and let's say you don't have a lump sum in mind, if you're going to start placing in funds on a month by month basis, you might want to go with an investment plan called unit trust. So we have a lot of unit trusts around. So unit trust is literally just a pool with different people placing in money. So there's you, there's me, my 1,000, your 500, another person's 5,000 kwacha, another person's 10,000 kwacha. They put it in there in one pool. Then they take that fund and then place it into a bigger investment vehicle, like bonds or real estate or anything. It might even be like a diversified portfolio where they just put a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there, and all those things. So what they're also doing for you is they're mitigating the risk on your behalf, so that if just in case the real estate market were to fall, whatever they put in bonds will be able to sustain or give back their clients what it is that they owe to them, and vice versa. So for me, I would advise that if maybe you're just starting out, depending on what circumstance you fall, you might want to start, maybe try out unit trusts. Unit trusts are great. They're great. At least the risk is much lower, and the returns now are actually looking really good, because we've got a lot of competition now when it comes to investment companies on the market. So you find that everyone is trying to almost outshine the other one by even just 0.5 or 1%, which is big in the investment world. So just do a bit of shopping, but I would ask you maybe to ask around in banks or investment companies and see which unit trust you can actually just join and start putting in the same amount of money you put into a savings account.
Definitely. And to close it off, what advice would you give somebody who wants to start investing, but they're sort of hesitant to begin? They sort of have that fear, like, okay, what am I getting myself into, and all of that stuff. What would you advise someone like that?
So we've spoken about compound interest. We've spoken about the benefits of the investments and all those things. So if I know a lot of people are crippled by fear, which is very valid. You find that it's almost the same thing as insurance. Not everyone is open-minded to it, because they have a friend's father who was disappointed by and all those things. It's almost the same thing with investments. And now, because we've got a lot of Ponzi schemes going around and all those things, so you find that people would rather be a 1 on the scale and just put their money under the mattress and just say, I'll keep it to myself and I'll keep saving it. But the thing is, you're missing out. Remember I said investments are medium to long term. So if you're going to wait until you are 40 years old to clear your mind of the fears, you would have lost out of 20 good years of exponential compound interest growth. And you don't want to do that. So for me, with someone who has fears, you want to start out small. Try and locate a company, do your due diligence, a bank or an investment company or an insurance company that is offering investment accounts, and start slow. Let's say give it 6 months or give it 1 year. Put in something that you can almost afford to lose. And I'll say this very loosely, like afford to lose. Like start, even if it's like a 300 or 500 kwacha, start putting it in, because then maybe you can lose on that if by any chance they were to run away. Then after you've gotten to a place where you're comfortable with this investment, and it's exciting when you, especially when you get your first check, it's very exciting. And thereafter, now you can play on the big leagues. You find yourself trying to build your cup to 100,000 kwacha, so that when you get that 100,000 kwacha from your unit trust, you throw it into government bonds. Once government bonds, you get into there, you start getting coupons. Maybe you start investing into real estate. It just becomes naturally. One thing you need to understand is you can't not achieve financial freedom or wealth creation minus investments. That's just the thing. All these billionaires, millionaires you see is because they know how to invest and they know how to diversify your portfolio. So you're missing out, no matter how much you're making. Remember I said income is not equivalent to wealth. Financial freedom is the art of understanding that your investments are making money for you. The income you're getting from your investments is now financing your lifestyle. That is financial freedom. Not your income, not your salary. What you put, if you can convert your salary to assets, then those assets start giving you income. Then you start living off that income. Then you would have achieved financial freedom. That's just how it works. And you can't achieve even this particular scenario without investment. So it's now or never.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Mrs. Lyapa, for coming on the show and educating us on financial freedom. I have learned so much, and I hope that you guys who are watching have learned 1 or 2 things. Thank you so much for watching. Remember that we have been talking about financial management, and I was joined by Mrs. Lyapa Mbewe on how to invest. Definitely leave your comments in the comment section down below. If you have any questions, leave the questions as well in the comments section down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video with other people. And remember that I'll be back next week with another video, so be on the lookout for that one.